I wanted to talk about something I saw in the soil while I was moving leaves away to just create some airflow for these hellebores. And this is a very, it's actually kind of hard at this point, but it's a mature fungus. So this is saprotrophic, which means that it feeds on decaying wood. I know it's saprotrophic because you can see that a root that was here from a previous tree that got removed at some point is actually the thing that's decaying in this spot. So the fungus is growing, starting here, and it's starting to spread throughout the soil looking for additional pieces of wood to eat. That is a phenomenal sign for my soil health. The precursor to this is a tiny little hairy, almost root-like network called mycelium. Mycelium has a symbiotic relationship with plants. So if you remember from probably freshman year biology, the symbiotic relationships are when two different species come together to have a relationship that could be considered parasitic, like they use each other, but they both benefit from it. Mycelium, what it does for plants is it creates a network that allows the roots to extend further, and it actually allows better absorption of nutrients in the soil. So the fungus binds to the root, allows the plant to absorb more nutrients, and then as a result, the plant, when it dies and decays and starts to drop leaves or any other thing that starts to decay from the plant, the fungus gets to eat. So the saprotrophic fungus here, feeding on a tree, it probably was living inside the tree's roots or alongside the tree's roots for a very long time prior to this tree being removed years ago. And it is now going through the root network and actually eating the remainder of the wood that's decaying there. So that's just a really cool thing to look out for in your garden as you're cleaning up this spring. That just, like I mentioned, is a good sign for soil health. Yeah, here we go. Here's actually a little visual indication of mycelium. So I just pulled away a fruiting body, this nice big chunk. On the bottom of it, you can see that there's almost like web-looking white spots. And here's another piece. So a piece of soil, and there's a little bit of almost like a web showing up inside of here. So it's the precursor to the actual fruiting body. It's just how it spreads underground prior to the mushroom showing up above ground. Mushrooms are only going to show up after you have like a cold snap or a lot of moisture, maybe after winter. So spring and fall tend to be really high mushroom production times of year. You're able to tell very quickly where you might have good microbial growth happening based on the presence of mushrooms and other fruiting bodies throughout your yard. That just indicates healthy soil. Maybe it's a good spot to plant something, but that just means to me that we're doing a good job here. One of the ways I just continuously feed my yard is to make sure I'm mulching heavily with wood and leaves. It does increase the risk of fungal infections like this guy has experienced, unfortunately, but it also feeds your soil health, and that allows the plants to just get healthier longer, and they're going to have a much better season despite the loss of a few leaves over the winter. Yeah, that's all I got for you. Thanks.